his economic plans. Let's take you to Mumbai. Our correspondent is Archana Shukla. She's there at the stock exchange for us. And Archana, just tell us what's happened today, because it's been highs and lows, and this all rests on whether Narendra Modi gets that government passed, whether he can form that majority to push through some important economic reforms.
Well, as the trends go from the election counting, Narendra Modi's BJP and alliance will get a majority to form the government. But this time they have definitely got a tougher fight than what they were expecting from the newly formed opposition alliance, which has a clutch of about a dozen opposition parties came together, and that fight has been tougher. And some of what the implications reflected in the markets today. Since the morning, the markets have been in the red. They've lost more than 8%, both the benchmark indices, the Sensex and the Nifty, and some of the key stocks from the infrastructure space, oil and gas, state-run companies, capital goods, or even state-run banks lost a lot of money in trade today. Whether it was bonds, whether it was the rupee, all was, all were under the strain as the election counting went through. And, I was talking to some of the investors here during the day who said that a lower than expected majority for the alliance, while they will be able to form the government, but a lower than expected majority would mean that the quick decision making and policy making that, that they have been crediting themselves for would be difficult to make. So the economic policy decisions and the economic progression for the country, especially when we talk about investments in the infrastructure space or the energy space, could see a slowdown. And a lower than expected majority would also keep the markets volatile in the few more trading sessions to come.
And Archana, just talk us through what the reforms or certainly some of the economic proposals have been of the Modi government, and what they potentially may not be able to deliver now if they don't get that majority. Well,
Prime Minister Modi-led government has credited themselves on bringing infrastructure-led economic policies. So we've seen the government spend massively on building roads, highways, ports, airports across the country, and that has led to growth in the construction space as well, and added to the GDP growth for the country. They've also pushed policies on the manufacturing side that they say have helped the country grow on the economic terms. But if we look at the fine print, and what critics and the opposition parties have been saying, is that the economic growth that the country prides upon, remember, India is one of the fastest growing major economies in the world. The growth is uneven and the gains have not trickled down to the masses.
Archana, good to have you there. Thank you. We'll check